Jeff Phillips, and I'd like to do a little talk on the exhibition I've got at Swansea MAD at the moment. They are paintings of steel and tinplate from my series Steel and Tinplate. Paintings that are here are of various different steel works and tinplate works from the region, but we can start off with probably a very generic painting, which is this one I've done. Now this one is actually amalgam, but it's what I'm going to be using as the cover for my leaflets and brochures and everything else to do with the Steel and Tinplate exhibition. So that's the painting, and there's the Bessemer converter there, and it's being, the molten metal's being poured out. We've got figures standing there in front of it. I've actually stood where they are, so I can tell you it's very hot. It's an incredible sight, incredible sight. If we move on to the second painting in the series, this one is of Velindre Tinplate Works. And as an apprentice, I worked in Velindre Tinplate Works for 4 consecutive years. I was actually based at the H&X plant in Velindre, the refrigeration plants which used to cool down the furnaces. And every year, of course, we had to strip all the copper, and all the brass had to be stripped out because the acid in the air would be actually dissolving the metals. What you see there is the Davy United press there, stand 5, and just about every steelworks in the world has a similar stand, all based on that design, on the Davy United design. Unfortunately, Velindre was one of the first steelworks to close in the region. I'll move further down now, and what we have here is a testing at Llanwern Steelworks, and this would be about 1990. This is a fairly recent one, just a couple of years before Llanwern actually shut down. And what we see there is the chap that he's actually testing the iron for temperature and quality. That is a fairly hot job. If we move further down, we have the outside blast furnace in Llanwern. The works would have been running 24 hours a day right through, producing a terrific amount of steel, and unfortunately this, as I said, the Llanwern is another one of our local steelworks that closed down. This next one then, that is again is a site of Llanwern Works around about circa 1980. You've got a crane operator there. The Bessemer converter is up, and it's in the process of being tipped. You see the actual molten iron being poured out there at terrific heat. This one is Trostre, and I worked in Trostre as well. Velindre and Trostre were the 2 local tinplate works. This one is still going now down in Llanelli, and it's still being used for tinplate today. You can see the coils of tinplate. They'd have come down from amalgam. The end result would have been coils then of actual sheet tinplate, and that would have been used for making all sorts of things, including tin cans and cars and vehicles and aircraft and all sorts of stuff. But there we are, another scene of Llanwern Works here, and you can see the actual molten metal comes down to a cast, and they cast it then out in long slabs, about 2 foot by 1 foot, and then it's reduced then to about 1 foot by 18 inches, something like that, or 18 inches by a foot. And then it would go through a rolling process where they would actually put it through the rollers. When it was still hot, it would be rolled, and then it would be put into storage then, ready to actually go through another phase where they would be using it either as raw steel or through a process to put it into tinplate. This is a nice scene of Ebbw Vale. The works itself now are all gone, all cleared, but it was such an important part of the South Wales steel industry, Ebbw Vale. Again, all that happens there now is I think there's a few storage areas left, but the factory itself is completely gone. You see a cooling tower there, Well, the cooling towers would have been on all of the factories at one time, certainly Trostre and Velindre. And I always remember on the Velindre one, there was an absolute massive Welsh dragon painted on one of them. This shows a sort of the workers coming home from the steelworks. I mean, just about every single person in the region worked in the steelworks. And today now, similar to the mining industry, all our steel industry is now on the wane, and unfortunately it looks like we're going to be losing our major steel industry very, very shortly. The blast furnaces in Margam are coming out, and they're going to be replaced with arc furnaces. And the big difference is that the blast furnaces use the ore. The arc furnace will be using recycled steel, and so the quality coming out from there will never be the same as the actual cast steel.